With so many different sizes of fire pits available today, how do you know if you're buying the right one that's right for your use? If you buy one that's too big, you're wasting tons of wood every time you light it up for just the family. Or if you buy one too small, there's not enough room for your guests around the fire when you're entertaining. In today's video, we're going to compare Solo Stove's largest model, the Canyon, to the Yukon and the Bonfire and figure out which one is really right for you. I'm David Gafford, and I've got my small group of guys coming over tonight, and it's pretty chilly here in Indiana, so we're definitely planning on gathering around the fire when we get together. We'll be showing you how many people can comfortably fit around each fire pit and still get warmth, as well as demonstrate how much wood is consumed by each fire pit burning over an hour. So first things first, let's see each fire pit and how they differ in size. All right, with the Bonfire, we are looking at an opening on the top, from the top of the ring to the other side of 15 inches. Now, from a depth perspective, we're looking at right around 10.5 inches or so deep. If you're looking at what's the largest piece of wood you can put in the Bonfire and have it still fit in from side to side, I would say right around 18 inches, 17.5 is probably going to be the longest that you can put in. And if it's going to function smokeless, all of your wood needs to be below these holes at the top of the fire pit. So all of your wood needs to be below that, none above, for it to really, truly be smokeless. Here at the Yukon, from the top of the inside of the ring to the other side, we've got 19.5 to 19.75 inches, just short of 20 inches there from the ring. And we have a depth of about 11.5 inches is what we're looking at from the top of the ring, which means that the size splits you can put in here, you could put something in here that's going to be, I'd say 20, 22 inches by the time that you actually can get in at an angle, but you're not going to want to put anything in there that's much longer than 22, 24 inches at max. This is the Canyon, and our measurement for the width is right at 23 inches from the interior side of the ring to the other side of the ring. 23 inches, and we're looking at a depth of right around 11.5 or 12 inches deep. Now, if you're thinking about putting in a split this way at an angle, you could go ahead and put a split in that would be 27, 28 inches long, and you'd be able to put that in there no problem. So by far, if you're looking at longer splits of wood, the Canyon is going to be the one that you want to look into. If you want to check out any links, we've got all of them in the description below. Pricing is always changing. To see the current prices, just use the link down in the description. And you can always use the coupon code BBQLAB to get $10 off your order of $99 or more. While this isn't a fire lighting tutorial, we like to build our fires in our fire pits using the log cabin method. We use the kindling cracker to cut our splits of wood down into kindling, and then build a log cabin on the base of the fire pit. I like to clean up the yard and use fallen sticks as smaller kindling in the middle. And while there are many ways to light a fire pit, there are none that I enjoy nearly as much as the grill gun. You can use the code BBQLAB to save 10% if you want to pick one of these beauties up for yourself. You can find the link in the description below. Hey, I want to do a tip of the day. For all of you smokeless fire pit users out there who have used these smokeless fire pits, I want to hear your best tip for working with these fire pits that you want to share with the other people who are going to watch this video. So drop a comment down below and leave us your best tip, and I'll go ahead and start. Whenever you get a new Solo Stove fire pit, the first thing that I do is I rub down the ring with isopropyl alcohol to remove any fingerprints or any oils from that, since that's the piece that will start giving that patina look first because of the high heat. So I always wipe it down with a paper towel soaked in isopropyl alcohol to make sure that my ring always looks great for years to come. I want to thank the sponsor of today's video, Renaissance Cooking Systems. For those of you who've been following the channel for a while, you remember that we built the outdoor kitchen with a partnership with Renaissance Cooking Systems, and we're happy to be partnered with them again. Now, right behind me, I've got their brand new charcoal grill that's able to be built into an outdoor kitchen or put in a cart, and I can't wait to show that to you guys more in an upcoming video. If you're looking for outdoor kitchen gear that's the same quality of what we've used here at the Barbecue Lab, I want you to go check out rcsgasgrills.com and legriddleus.com. I can even share with you a special code, BBQLAB, that you can use at checkout to get a special gift. So if you're interested in building your outdoor kitchen or getting some great outdoor cooking gear, I want you to go check out our sponsor. Thanks so much to Renaissance Cooking Systems for sponsoring today's video. All right, so here's the test we're gonna run. We've got these 3 fire pits fired up, and we've got them all to a pretty even level of wood, how much they have in each one. What we're gonna do right now is we're gonna do a 60-minute test to try to see how much wood each one of these fire pits will go through in 60 minutes. We've got the small group over from church tonight, and so all these guys are gonna help us run this test. This camera is gonna show us a time lapse of what happens on these different fire pits, but we're gonna count how many logs go in each over the next 60 minutes, and the time starts now. We need to talk about the wind today. It's a windy day here in Indiana with winds between 15 and 25 miles per hour. So that's definitely going to play into how much wood that we're going to consume in this test. Now, there was already a hot coal bed in each fire pit, and each one of them was at the point where they needed to be refreshed at the start of this test. Now, my friend Brian kept track of the wood count that we put in each fire pit, with the Bonfire needing 6 splits, the Yukon needing 10 splits, and the Canyon needing 12 splits over an hour. By the way, if you're getting value out of this video, hit that like button and subscribe if you want more videos just like this. All right, so what we've done is we've finished the test, and now we're gonna go ahead and gather guys around each fire pit and see kind of what the distance is and how many guys can get around it and still be comfortable and actually get some heat from it. Now with the Bonfire, we were able to get 5 guys standing around the fire pit at about a 2.5 foot distance from the fire pit where they could all still feel warmth. Now with the Yukon, we could get right around 8 guys around the fire pit, and they were standing somewhere between 3 and 4 feet away, meaning that 8 people at 3 or 4 foot distance is definitely doable with the Yukon. You may only see 7 guys standing here, but someone had to work the camera, so 8 is our number. For the Canyon, we looked at right around 10 to 12 guys standing around it at a 5 or 6 foot away distance. And that's remarkable because you're talking about being much further away from the fire, being able to get quite a few more people around it. And we estimated between 10 and 12 guys, even though we didn't have a total of 12 to test. Based on the spacing that we see, we think 12 guys is totally doable with the Canyon. In just a second, I'm going to let you hear from the guys who helped us with all of the tests today. But before we do, I did want to mention what our measurements of heat were at standing height for each of these fire pits. If we were sitting down, the results probably would have varied. Now, smokeless fire pits often get a lot of flack for not putting out a lot of heat at seated height. There is a solution for that, however, and if you'd like to hear more about our experience with the Solo Stove heat deflector, I want you to click the video that's up in the card here or down in the description below. We tested it with a thermal imaging camera and multiple air temperature thermometers and came up with some fascinating data. So you might want to go check that one out.
All 3 of them did great as far as the smokeless aspect of it. I stood around all 3 of them and I never got smoke in my face once, so that was great. I think the smallest one, the Bonfire, I think that would be great for like camping. It's a little more portable. I've got 6 people in my family, so I don't think it would be for me, but just for a few people, we were able to put 5 grown men around it, and it kept us all warm. Yukon did great throughout a ton of heat. As far as the logs that we put on there, not much less than what we had on the Canyon, which is the 30-inch model, and that one put out a ton of heat. We could easily fit 10 grown men around it, yeah, no one was wanting any space around there. It was plenty of elbow room, and it was great. I'd recommend all of them. I can't talk about the smokeless aspect of it enough.
What I really enjoyed about the Canyon is how many people could actually get all the way around it. It's really hot. The way there's no smoke in your eyes, that's usually my biggest problem with bonfires. I can stand right next to that and it not get in my face or anything like that. It's really enjoyable.
We started this fire a few hours back. We've added wood as needed. We've gotten it now where it's putting off a lot of heat in all directions. It was kind of a windy day, so what was impressive to me is really on any side you stand, the downwind side was hotter, but you still got a lot of heat off of the upwind side. The amount of wood they consumed was reasonable for the amount of heat they were putting off. Based on the wood burning of some of the smaller ones, I would have thought the larger one would have consumed more wood faster, and it did, but not nearly as much a difference as we thought it would be. The heat radius is probably off this big one, 5-6 feet of actual meaningful heat being felt, versus the smallest version, which is the Bonfire, was probably 2.5 feet, probably at least double the distance.
If you're still not sure which fire pit is for you and you're looking for one on the smaller side around that Bonfire, I've got a video I want you to check out. It's up here in the card or down in the description on 5 different fire pits that we ran tests on to help you make that decision. Thanks so much for watching this video. Smash like if you got value, and I'll see you next time.